emotions here are indeed very wild and very distinct. I love that you brought up the White Lotus. And I think that Dr. Ritter and the Baroness actually might have more in common with each other than they would like to admit. But how did you come to cast this project? And was there a world in which Jude played Daniel's character, or Anna played Dora, or were they locked in from the start?
Fairly locked in my mind, and because we were an independent movie, we were able. The strike was actually settled before we started, but we were able to really go forward, even though the strike was underway. I wanted, as I said in the opening remarks, I really wanted people who I felt had that kind of creative courage, or would be taking a risk. Probably the only one who doesn't fall into this category is Daniel Bruhl, who I talked to about it from years before. I always thought he was sort of the perfect Hines, and in fact he was too young then, and now he was perfect. I knew it wouldn't be a reach for him, but I wanted everybody else to be a little bit out on a limb, because I think these people were. I think they felt incredibly vulnerable, even if there was that bravado that you would hear from, the Baroness or from Ritter. These were like last-ditch attempts from them. There's a kind of a desperation, which could, sometimes led to some very funny situations and reactions through their ego and arrogance, and sometimes made them very, very dangerous. Anna, just blew me away in Blonde, and I just began thinking that while she's younger than the actual Baroness was, that I just felt like she would have the courage and could help pull off the glamour that the Baroness so wanted to embody in a little more contemporary kind of rock and roll way. So you just think of her as a kind of a bad girl that just went off the grid, and so wanted to be a star. Because Ritter wanted to be thought of as a genius, wanted to write that manifesto that would be saluted. Dora was supportive of that, and I thought Vanessa Kirby's work in sort of recognizing her journey, that sort of this dismay that she was feeling for this man whose ideas she was supporting and in fact had embraced was really interesting to track as well.
The Baroness absolutely has the energy of like a YouTube influencer, with the embodiment of perfection as an affirmation.
Yeah, today she probably have had a couple of startups. She would have cashed in, the bubble would have burst, she would have gone to the next thing.